Hello, I'm back to another Walking Dead video. So today I will do a death predictions for Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 Part B. The reason why I'll do a Part B for this is because we've just watched Season 7A, and I feel like with Season 7A, it's kind of set up characters' deaths. I do want to talk about this. I want to kind of re-look back at my Part A or general overall death prediction I did for Season 7 and kind of do some course corrections as we go through this. But before we get into this, make sure to subscribe if you want more Walking Dead content, and let's jump right into this. So I'm going to break this kind of predictions down to 4 groups. We're going to have Morgan's group, Strand's group, Alicia's group, and Al's group. Even though Al's not on the show anymore and she left the show, everyone that was in the helicopter, I will call Al's group. So Sarah and stuff like that is Al's group. So let's first start off with Morgan's group and straight up Morgan. He's going to survive. Reason why is because it's Morgan. And I think we've been more or less confirmed that Morgan's going to have some sort of role in Season 11 of The Walking Dead. And that means he can't die in Season 7 of Fear, because Fear takes place 9 years before The Walking Dead. So that means he's safe. And because the story arc they're going with Morgan, it means that Grace and Baby Mo cannot die either, because they've just done this character progression to be like, Morgan's ready, he's having a new family, they're not going to take it away again. So Grace and Mo are both safe. Now let's move on to Strand's group. Now this is kind of the tricky one where I expect a couple deaths. So first of all, Howard, yep, he's going to die. I feel like he will die maybe an episode before the final episode of Strand's villain arc. And I feel like he's going to have a very defensive death where he's going to try and save Strand and ends up dying quite pathetically or something like that. Or Morgan Buzz I rub it in your face. Or Strand just turns around and he's like, I can't deal with you anymore, and just caps him. I feel like that's something that's going to happen. I am more inclined that Strand just caps him when he just gets bored of him. Now moving on to Strand himself, I think Strand is going to die. I am quite convinced. He's been going down this villain arc for a while. Season 1 to 3, he became almost completely villainous, and if they didn't kind of reboot the show, I feel like he would have died in Season 4 and become some sort of villain in Season 4 before they rebooted the show. And they kind of fixed him and made him stupid, good in Season 4 and 5. But kind of Season 6 and this season especially, he's been taking Strand down the villain path. And I feel like Season 7 is going to be the end of Strand. And when do I think this will happen? Well, if you look at all the other Fear seasons, they don't do arcs like The Walking Dead does. They don't wait to episode 16 to end the arc, or episode 8 or 9 to end the arc. Fear kind of ends their arcs kind of mid-season, and they bring in a new arc in the last couple of episodes of each season. I'm pretty sure the longest arc we've ever got was Logan from Season 5. He was episode 1, episode 13, killed off, and then key people came in from episode 14 to episode 9 of the next season. And with Strand becoming a main villain, I feel like he's gonna die about episode 14, 13, something like that. I think 14, 15, something like those 2 episodes. And then I think when Madison comes back in the show, because we know she's in Season 7 in some sort of role, I feel like she'll bring the new villains with her. And that'll be the Season 8 villains that's brought with Madison, because they always bring in the next season's villains in the last episode or 2 of the previous season. So Strand is even going to make it to the season finale of Season 7, I believe. Now we have John Dory Sr. I don't think they're going to kill off John Dory Sr. because the whole reason John Dory Sr. came into the show was to kind of replace John Dory Jr. So John Dory Sr. is going to survive. I feel like they're going to continue with his kind of arc of being an alcoholic and stuff like that. He is safe. June is also safe. She's kind of a character legacy to John Dory. John Dory Sr. and June, I think, can never die because they're John Dory legacy characters to John Dory Jr. So June is also safe. Wendell, he's a tricky one because he's a very small side character. However, The Walking Dead don't kind of seem to kill off the very small side characters, especially Fear. So I see Wendell surviving, but having 1 or 2 more scenes that he's in and just doing nothing else this season. So I see Wendell surviving because how little he's going to be in the show. Now let's move on to Alicia's group, and Alicia, in my opinion, is guaranteed to die just because she's been bit. I feel like she's going to die from some sort of infection or die taking down Strand or something like that. Maybe I feel like Strand's going to inadvertently kill Alicia in this war, and then Madison or Morgan or something like that will kill Strand afterwards as revenge. I feel like something like that would happen. So Madison comes in before the arc fully ends, warns about the uncommon threat, which is the villains that she's bringing with her into the show. They meet up with Alicia. Madison joins Alicia's side. Strand ends up killing Alicia by accident. Then Madison kills Strand. I feel like that's gonna happen, and there's evidence to back this up with the actor who plays Alicia wanting to leave the show. She made it clear, and like in the middle of season 6, she's like, I want to leave the show. I don't find the show fun anymore. I just want to leave the show, but I'll wait for the writers to write me out. And I feel like bringing Madison back is kind of to replace Alicia. Like, if we think about it, the last Clark wants to leave the show, and you want the show to still be about the Clarks. Why not bring back Madison? It's like how when Rick Grimes left the show, they aged up Judith massively so she could play a role in the show, and you can still have a Grimes in the show. It makes sense. Madison coming back to the show is kind of telling us that Alicia's leaving the show, and I feel like Alicia's going to die either right after Strand or right before Strand, and her death will be the catalyst for Strand's death. I feel like we're going to get very big finale this season with Alicia and Strand both kind of dying very close together in maybe in a couple episodes of each other, or even on the same episode. Now we have Dwight. Dwight's guaranteed to survive just because Dwight's a Walking Dead character, and they can't kill off Walking Dead characters because Fear's like, these characters are literally the crux of our show now, because Fear used to be its own thing. Now it's like heavily relying on Walking Dead characters to kind of run the show. So Dwight is going to survive, and that means Sherry's going to suffer just because those characters have just got back together. I don't think they're going to kill Dwight or Sherry. Talking about Mickey though, the kind of wrestler that Dwight and Sherry mixed into, I think she's also going to survive just because she's only going to be in like maybe one or two more episodes. She's going to be a very small part, saying that she kind of was like, she just kind of disappeared from the episode that Dwight and Sherry were in episode 8 with Alicia. I feel like we're going to get that as well. Like, she's going to be in 1 or 2 more episodes, but Mickey's going to be around. I feel like she's going to be kind of like Wendell. We will see her in the next seasons, but it'll be a very small role. Now, let's move on to Al's group, minus Al, of course, because she left the show. So, first of all, Sarah. I don't think she's going to die. She's such a small, minor character. I don't think there'd be any purpose to kill her. Rabbi Jacob, I don't think he's going to die. We haven't even seen him this season yet, but he's been mentioned. I feel like we will see him one more time, but he's such a small character, there's no point killing him off. Charlie, she is one that I really want to die, and with Madison come back, it makes sense. It makes so much more sense for her to die this season than to survive. However, the writers seem to be like, we can't kill Charlie. She is the replacement Nick, and she's going to survive, sadly, even though it makes more sense story-wise and everything just to kill off. She's one of the most hated characters in the Walking Dead universe. And the writer's like, no, we can't kill her. No matter what. Even bringing Madison back, and it makes more sense for Madison to kill her, and it works in the story sense. We're going to keep her alive. And with Madison go back, basically, I hope she dies, but I believe she's going to survive. And Madison will be like, oh, I forgive you. You're a replacement, Alicia and Nick. That's what I think's going to happen with her, which really annoys me. Now we have Luciana. She's guaranteed to survive because she is before the reboot, so I don't think they're going to kill her off. And she does nothing in the show. She's just there to be like, we still have characters from before the reboot, so she's going to survive. And the same with Daniel. He isn't going to die either because he's before the reboot. He's a fan of character. And with them, in my opinion, killing off Strand and Alicia this season, they're not going to kill off these 2 characters. They are very important. Now, kind of the tricky one we have is West, because I can see West dying. It makes sense for West dying because we have seen West kind of being in the trailer being kind of a bodyguard to Alicia, and it makes sense for that to happen. And if Strand wanted to take some account on Alicia, he's not going to hurt Alicia, he's going to hurt her bodyguard. So I feel like West could die. It is possible West could die. However, he's such a small main character, and with all the big deaths I think will happen this like 8 episodes, like Strand, Alicia and Howard and stuff like that, I can see him dying. It makes sense for him dying. However, I don't think he will die. I think he's safe. We already have very big character deaths so far that I predict will happen. I think West is safe. And that is my predictions for 7B. What do you think? Do you feel I missed anyone? I feel I missed everyone. However, I feel like I've got everyone at the same time. Like, it's a problem because The Walking Dead has such a big cast, you can't remember everyone. However, Fear's got a smaller cast, and when you remember everyone, you feel like you're missing people because it's so small compared to The Walking Dead. What do you think about death predictions? And what do you think about the big ones, like, to be specific, like kind of Strand, Alicia? I believe both of them are going to die. Please tell me what you think. Do you think only one of them are going to die? Do you think both of them are going to die? Like, what do you think Strand? Because he's more up in the air, so I'm pretty sure we're very confident that Alicia's going to die just because the actor wants to leave. But with Strand, it's different. Like, there is a chance he could survive. Please tell me your opinion down below, what you think we're having with Strand. Also, when do you think his arc will end? I'm very confident with episode 14. But please tell me down below all your opinions and your death predictions. I'd love to know. And feel free to subscribe for more Walking Dead content like this. And look on the screen for more videos. I guarantee you'll find something else you like. So goodbye. Peace out. I'll talk to you at a later date.